tricky, right? Do you guys get into these situations when someone apologizes to you about something that they did, and then you get more offended by the apology? Yeah, than the actual thing that they did? I was offering a friend of mine cake the other day, and I was like, would you like to have some cake? And she was like, oh, thank you very much, Mustafa, but I don't want to get fat. I was like, cool. She's like, Mustafa, I didn't mean it. I'm very, very sorry. And I was like, you're sorry about what? She said, I really didn't mean to mention the word fat in front of you. I was like, help me out here. Why would I be offended? She told me it's easy because you're a bit wobbly and you have man tits. And I was like, okay, let's. I get it. Let's move on. You know, I was sharing an office with this guy in a co-working space, and he came in one day and was like, it smells a little bit bad here, no? I was like, actually, I don't smell anything. He was like, sorry, buddy. I hope you don't get it the wrong way. I was like, which way? He's like, I didn't mean to say anything about your people. And I was like, my people, I am an Arab from Libya. We are not the smelly ones. We are the ones when we get really angry, we explode. But we smell really nice when we do that. We have standards, right? Get your racism and stereotypes together. I get complimented a lot for the wrong things, you know. So when I finished my PhD in mathematics, you know, I did my defense. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Only in Munich, people are like, woo! Love mathematics. More than 6-digit salary, baby. When I finished my PhD, you know, I did my defense. I went to my supervisor and I was like, so what do you think of my work? And he was like, Mustafa, your English is wonderful. I was like, thank you very much, Mr. Asshole. You know, I'm trying to become a better person, trying to spread some happiness and joy. I'm starting to compliment random people on things, right? Strangers in the street, I compliment them. People at shops, at work. What I do, I pick 2 people with the same characteristic and compliment only one of them on it. And leave the other one hanging. You can try it even tomorrow. You can do it even in a Zoom call, you know, at work. 2 people pop up in the morning. It was like, my God, Andreas, you look so great. You look refreshed. Morning, Maria. I think we should start the meeting. We're a little bit late. Fills me with happiness and joy every time. So, fills me with happiness and joy. When I tell people that I'm an Arab, they tell me, oh, Mustafa, Arabs, oh, spices. You must know a lot about spices. Oh, spices. And I think this is completely wrong. I think the group that knows the most about spices are hipster vegans. Yeah, you'll be having a meal with one of them and they'll be like, do you taste this? This is Kombucha Kantaka. It's a root that grows under the armpits of monkeys in the Nepalese mountains. I was having a group of friends for dinner, and one of them, Frederick, was one of those guys. He came in like a ninja. He walked in and was like, Mustafa, do I smell fresh coriander? Do I smell the anti-inflammatory power of turmeric? And I was like, Frederick, actually, I just farted. But I'm happy that you're detoxing. I was sitting in a hipster cafe the other day, having a coffee, minding my own business. And the waitress came and she was like, sir, would you like to have a muffin? And I was like, actually, I'm fine, thank you. She was like, are you sure? Because it's gluten-free. Since when did gluten-free become a redeeming quality to convince you of eating anything? Guys, if you had seen the muffin, your heart would cry. It had no structure, was going everywhere. I was like, there's no gluten, put gluten! Poor thing, it needs it, right? And why do you offer it to me? I mean, it's something for sick people, right? If you have a problem, you eat gluten-free. Otherwise, why would you? It's like checking into a hotel and after checking in, it was like, sir, would you like to use our complimentary spa? It's actually, I'm fine, thank you. It was like, well, if you don't want to use the spa, then we have a complimentary chamber for chemotherapy. A bit of an evil joke, sorry. Speaking of evil, do we have any French people here? No? All busy shoving cheese down their throats? Okay. Drinking glasses of raclette? Okay. I think we're poking lots of fun of the French here, but we don't give them enough credit for their language. You know, it's a very sexy and beautiful language. Everything sounds better in French. Even the most brutal things, they sound better in French. Do you guys know, for example, foie gras? Right? Like the Finnish, like the pate coming from overfeeding a duck. One of the most horrible things that we as a human beings do to animals. But if a French person is describing it, it sounds the sexiest thing ever. Come here, I explain you. You take a duck, and then you stuff the duck with food. It becomes bigger, but then you don't stop. No. You put so much more food, becomes so big, but then you don't stop. No. And then you take a tube, and then you stick the tube in the throat of the duck, and then like passionate oral sex. And then you pump it, till it explodes. So And after it explodes, you put your hands inside, you take the liver. I give you the liver, you happy. You give me 300 euros, I happy. Duck is not happy, no? Duck is dead. Can you imagine what would have happened if this was an Arabic delicacy? There would have been a United Nations resolution against it. Article 333 against the barbarisms of the Arabs. But we have all to be honest about it. It would have sounded a little bit different. Right? تاخذ البطة. وبعدين بعد ما تاخذ البطة تحشيها وتزيد تكبر البطة. وبعدين ما توقفش. وتزيد تحشيها وتكبر وما توقفش. وتجيب الطوبة وتحشيها لحد ما تتطربق وتقول الله أكبر. It wouldn't have been allowed, so I get it. I like when I tell this joke, there's usually like two people in the audience like, did he just say Allahu Akbar? Keep smiling, Margaret. You know, so if you're smiling, he's happy. You know, it's gonna be over very soon. You know. One of the main reasons that I started doing stand-up comedy is that I wanted to increase my visibility. You see now, I've been in Munich since a few years, and up till now, I still haven't had a single marriage proposal. Shocking, thank you. You know. Which by extension means that I still don't have a European passport. And you see, for a Libyan, there is nothing more important than having a European passport, right? If a Libyan gets a genie, the genie would be, so what would it be? Money or happiness? And the Libyan after 3 hours is like, okay, I'm gonna go for happiness. Like, okay, happiness or a European passport, please? Where can I sign up? No. So how many Europeans here? Give me a shout. I mean, like not Albania European, no? Maybe in 2 years, but not, also not British, so we don't need to, So you guys have a competition, you can get this after the show? Yeah, I cook, I clean, I dance. And nothing is off the table, no? So, no discrimination. I discriminate a little bit against the color of the passport. Otherwise, everything goes. Guys, I'm gonna leave you with the last note. It's basically an advice. You're gonna be grateful for the rest of your lives if you see me on stage, so you're welcome. It's called the sandwich rule. It's basically when you want to give someone a criticism, you sandwich it between two compliments. Yeah. So your boss, for example, she comes to you and she says, "Great glasses, you suck at work, fantastic shoes." Yeah. Or a wife comes to her husband and says, "Oh baby, I love the flowers so much. I'm leaving you. But on the bright side, your brother fucks really well." You guys have been wonderful. My name is Mustafa Gari. Thank you very much.